Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, November 11th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Miami Dolphins versus the Los Angeles Rams. Happy Veterans Day. We're going to have kickoff here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get settled in for some Monday Night Football. Let's get it, baby. And on the thumb on the left, we got Tua Tagovailoa. And on the right, it's the man, Cooper Kupp. Let's go, baby. And again, based off records, there's nothing really too crazy about this matchup, 2-5 versus 4-4. But the Rams are on a 3-game winning streak at home. Miami is going to be the more desperate team, but I would assume that the Rams will be able to find a way to get the dub. But hopefully it ends up being a competitive matchup like we saw last night with the Texans and the Lions. And maybe we'll end up having some late heroics by a certain individual or team to help them get to the victory. Let's go, baby. Let me get all my screen situated here. Happy Veterans Day. Hope everyone is having a very good day. All right, baby. I am ready to go. Dolphins, Rams, kickoff in roughly 8 minutes. And I'm going to take a quick look to see if there's anything going on news related. I obviously know the former Rams coach passed away just a few hours back, with John Robinson, the former USC and Rams coach. So rest in peace to John Robinson. Passes away at 89. Probably a little extra motivation for the Rams teams and players to be able to get one for John here tonight. And other than that, that's pretty much it. There's not really a whole lot else newsworthy, but maybe as the broadcast goes on, we'll have a little bit more to be able to go over in the NFL world. Daniel in the building, what's good? How are you, brother? Sarah in the building, what's good? Megan in the building, what's good? $20 holla, appreciate you. I know it's kind of tough to be able to root for teams in the division when everyone is, going for the top of the division. I don't think anyone anticipated the Cardinals being the best team in the NFC West at this point. I noticed that you did release one of your linebackers and bring another individual to the team. McDonald seems like he's a very big stickler on linebackers and consistent linebacker play. So it looks like that was the correct move that needed to be made. And again, you just got a big cluster of teams with the Cardinals and the Rams and the Seahawks and the Niners. And I don't really know who's going to end up winning this division. It really could play out many, many different ways. But again, I don't really know who's going to win this either. I feel like the Rams at home, they've won 3 in a row. I think they're the better team. Obviously, the record states that. Dolphins are going to be the more desperate team, but I just don't know if they have a good enough defense to be able to slow down the Rams enough. And if I had to choose a defense, Dolphins or Rams, I think I would be leaning towards the Rams, and they're at home. So I would assume the Rams are going to win, but hopefully it ends up being a competitive matchup. Thank you so much for your love and generosity for me and Paisley and the channel. Thank you so much. We're at 20. 80 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for photos while we have a couple minutes here before we end up getting started. And I got you. Thank you so much for your unconditional support and love for me and the channel. It really does mean everything. Thank you so much. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for filling in with all of the duties since we don't really have a regular at the moment. But for the time being, I know I can count on you, and I appreciate you very, very much. Megan with another $5. Dotson cut by the Hawks. Well, and I think it really just comes down to, he's got a scheme, and if he feels that the player is not a good fit, you did see this early on in the Pete Carroll and John Schneider era, way, way early, in their first year. And again, if they feel like a certain individual even if he's gotten tackles, but it just might not be a fit for the team. Sometimes they have to make a drastic move, or maybe a surprising move to some, maybe not so surprising for others. But normally you're not cutting a lot of players at this point of the season. But again, with everyone's record, neck and neck, right next to each other in the division, if they feel that this move can bring in a player that would be a better fit to help them win, you have to trust what McDonald is thinking, and hopefully it ends up being the right move for you guys, which I assume it will be. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang, $5 holla. We're at 25, 75 to go. Appreciate you. Quarter of the way to the goal already with the support of Megan. Thank you so much. Finley in the building. Great to see you as always. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. And I hope that this game ends up bringing some excitement. It's like you got Tua, right? You got Achane, you got Tyreek, you got Jalen Waddle. So, and you even got Jonnu Smith out there too. So it's like, it's not like that they don't have, players on Miami to make the game somewhat interesting. But it really is going to come down to, the offensive line, the defensive line, the line of scrimmage, who's going to end up winning that. But there's enough firepower, on both sides of the ball. Also, Matthew Stafford, Kyren Williams, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. So if the offensive lines can just do their job, we might be able to get both teams in the 20s. Now, if one team, like let's say Miami's offensive line can't contain first and the rest of the guys on the D line of the Rams, then there is a possibility that they may hit under 20. But I'm hoping that it ends up being somewhat a competitive matchup, a 28, 24 kind of game, 27, 23, 24, 20. I hope both teams get at least a couple touchdowns and a couple field goals apiece. But again, we're not really going to know how that's all going to play out, until we end up getting the snap. And obviously we end up getting the kickoff here in just a couple minutes. I'm going to just start throwing up a few photos here for Megan. I'll just start with some throwback Seahawks stuff while we're just going through the national anthem and everything else. And then I'll go through any of the regulars that you want as well. But in the time being, sprinkle in a couple Seahawks. Little Zorn, little Argent to get this stream started off on a good note with a throwback look. It's crazy. We're already halfway through the NFL season, and every time we end up going, into the NFL, we wait, 6-7 months for it to come back. But while we're in it, it definitely goes by a lot quicker than I think anticipated. And again, you got to make sure you're savoring every single moment. Even if it's not your favorite team that's on, if you are a diehard and you are a fanatic and you love the sport, I'm really trying to soak in as much college football in the NFL since those are my favorites. I want to make sure that, even if it's not my team out there, I want to make sure that I'm enjoying greatness wherever it's at. And hopefully this will end up being a competitive matchup between Miami and Los Angeles here today. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 if possible, if we get the volume. And obviously we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every stream. And since we have Megan in the room showing the love and appreciation, we're already a quarter of the way there, 25 on the way to a hundo. Thank you so much. And I know you're probably itching for some Seahawk and USC football as well, since you had a bye week with both. It definitely gives you a chance to talk and hang out with Ollie and, get caught up with any other shows or movies or anything else that you had lined up. And hopefully you got a chance to do that. I got a chance to watch the Yellowstone premiere on the Paramount Plus network. Phenomenal. Like you always know that show is going to be. Highly recommend. And then down the road in maybe about a week or two, once I get a little bit extra cash, I'll probably end up extending my Hulu subscription so that way I can get Showtime, HBO. And Penguin just ended. and I definitely want to binge watch that in a night or two. Probably it'll take me 2 nights, so that way I can focus properly on each episode. But maybe going through about 4 episodes a night. I've heard great things about it. I haven't heard one negative thing about it. I'm a big DC and Batman kind of guy. I mean, hell, when they even had Gotham on Fox, I loved it. And the Penguin looks a little bit more edgier, a little bit more darker, and I'm okay with that. A little bit more violent. And again, I am very excited to be able to get that. But again, if you are a fan of Yellowstone, I would highly recommend tapping in to that particular show. And if you haven't caught up with it, definitely starting it from the beginning would be ideal. But it's really the only Western show that's on like now. A lot of the old school Western things were on, in the 50s and obviously back in the day when our parents were obviously watching those, or our grandparents. But I think as far as like a modern day show, it's one of the best cowboy representations, but it's a lot more than that. It's about family, it's about passion, and it's a lot of things that are kind of, jumped into one kind of big category. And I would highly recommend it if you haven't got a chance. Very good. Oh, you got your Xbox? Oh, you paid off your Xbox. Nice. Yeah, and then I'll have to get into those at some point as well. I ended up, because right now I'm doing True Blood, which I've already watched like a billion times. True Blood, and then what else do I got on my bucket? I got True Blood in there, and then I got 2 other shows. My Name is Earl. I decided to start that because my dad recommended that, years ago, but I just haven't had a chance to watch it. Fantastic show. And then I got another show and I started The Walking Dead from the very beginning. So I got 3 shows that I'm kind of going through, and normally I don't do that many, but sometimes you want to be able to tap into something that you enjoy or you haven't seen in a while. All right, Dolphins, your turn here. Let's see what Tua Tagovailoa got going here this evening. Peaky Blinders is fantastic. 100%. All right, first down and 10, man in motion, fake toss, Tua, good protection, good play call, Jalen Waddle, first down, Dolphins. Okay, and again, the Dolphins not being, so predictable, because a lot of times when they start off a game, it's a handoff to Achane right up the gut, for a dive or a counter. So for them to do like a fake toss and do a play action to Waddle, and normally Waddle doesn't get the ball, it seems like, until later in the first half for whatever reason. Hasn't really had that great of a year, and obviously we know Tua has had the concussions and some injuries and whatnot, and hopefully Tyreek can get the ball as well. But again, Waddle, Tyreek, Jonnu Smith, Achane, Tua, that's the main nucleus. Stafford, Kyron Williams, Puka, and obviously Cooper Kupp on the Rams. Little screen pass, and not really getting anything. And that Rams defense is drastically improved, with some of the draft picks with Verse on the D-line. And again, it's not going to be easy for Miami to move the ball, even if they end up getting creative with their play calls like we saw in that first play. Miami's going to be the more desperate team, 2-6. I mean, this is a must-win game. Again, you could probably say the same thing for the Rams, but the urgency for the Miami Dolphins is much higher since they only have 2 wins. The Rams, if they lose, they're still in the mix with it, with the Seahawks and the Rams and the Cardinals. But this would be a good opportunity for the Rams to, get on that Cardinal level. And obviously everyone's trying to go for the top spot. Second down and 15, Achane. Not a whole lot of room, and I don't think you're going to be getting a whole lot with those kind of play calls. Got to mix it up a little bit. Oh, Raising Cane's. That sounds good. I'm glad you got a chance to spend time with Ollie. Anytime you get a chance to be able to spend time with one of your favorite people, obviously it can be a good for your mental health. Third down and 13. Rams defense, I see you. Shotgun set. Tua. He's looking for a man. Wide open. Waddle again. First down, Dolphins. Protection broke down. Big play for the Miami Dolphins. 36 yards. I don't think I've seen Waddle targeted this early and the offense look this good in a minute for the Dolphins. First down and 10. Little end around. Okay, I like this play. I like this play. I like this play. Touchdown, Dolphins. Wow. That literally was the best opening drive for the Miami Dolphins all year. I mean, you got a little bit of trickery right out of the gates on the first play. Obviously, for Tyreek owners like Sarah, she's going to get his opportunity at some point later in the game. So they went to Waddle instead of Tyreek early on, mixed in a little bit of Achane, and then at the perfect moment with a fake, halfback dive and then a little jet sweep end around. Obviously the defense was out of position, confused, and again, that was a fantastic drive by the Miami Dolphins. Extra point is up and good, and it looks like the desperate team is very hungry to try to get this win as a obviously underdog in Monday Night Football. Nice job. Way to come out of the gates and not even just you have a 3-and-out or even get a field goal. They're going for the jugular. They're going for the neck. They're going for the blood. And, the foot is on the gas pedal, and I like it. Nice job. Touchdown, Dolphins. All right, Rams, your turn. I mean, hell, if the game is going to be like this, maybe we'll even get one of these teams into the 30s. That would be ideal if we could get like a 34-28, kind of game. But I just don't know if that's going to be possible. But again, for our personal entertainment, I like what I see. Nice job, Miami. 7-0 Dolphins. Okay, baby. Joe Dirt approved. He liked that drive. Let's go. All right, Rams, your turn. Cole in the building. What's good? Yeah, and I know that he's banged up and he's not 100%, but even with Tyreek not being 100%, you still would assume that, he's going to go out there and give it all he has. And again, if he's, like 50%, he's probably not going to play. So you would have to assume even if he's injured, he's probably at least 70%. And a 70% Tyreek Hill, if you get him the ball, is still better than, a good chunk of the league at wide receiver because he's a phenomenal athlete. Now, as far as the injury, if it ends up being to his legs, anything that you have on the toes or the ankle or the leg, obviously it could, hinder that top end speed that Tyreek is known for. But as far as his hands are concerned, it's not going to affect that. So. And let me know any other photos or anything else that you want, Megan, with your dono. We appreciate you very much. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And obviously we're at 25 right now, 75 to go to hit our goal. Let's go, baby. All right, we need one more like to be able to get to double digits. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, thank you so much. We got a couple right there. As I mentioned that we're at 11, 9 more to go to hit the goal, and then we can hit the algorithm. Let's go. USC, Hawks Pete, great choice. Glenn, I got you. Good choices. 7-0 Miami. Yeah, second opening drive all year, and that one was cleaner than their first drive. And obviously, your team isn't probably that good if you only have 2 opening drive touchdowns all season, and you're playing in essentially game number 9, with a 2-6 record. So, Tua being out was a big part of that, but good to see him back. And both coaches are very smart. They're going to be able to find the weaknesses on the defense, and I'm very excited to see how they exploit each other here tonight. Man in motion, Puka Nacua, Stafford, play action fake. Going back to the opposite side, Kyron Williams. And they sniffed it out. Wow. Styler with the big tackle. Man, defense is coming to play today. HN and Kyron Williams are very good running backs as well. I'm getting a few of these photos prepped for you as we're trying to multitask at the same time. Second down and 20. Shotgun set as Puka is in motion. They go to Kyron right up the middle. And a decent gain there. 6-yard gain. Third down and long. 3rd and 14. Captain in the building. What's good? Dizzle in the building. What's good? Thank you for stopping by. 3rd and 14. Stafford. Little check down. Good tackle there by the Dolphins. I assume that's going to force a 3 and out, and they will punt. But that opening drive, Pizzle, that's the only second touchdown on an opening drive all year, and that was the best opening drive the Dolphins have had all year. They really mixed up the play calling brilliantly. Love the little, fake toss, and then obviously the play action to get Waddle going early. Tyreek isn't 100%. Again, when a team has been struggling like the Dolphins have for Fizzle, again, you're going to take any kind of points that you can get. They're going to be the more desperate team, and we'll see if the most desperate team ends up getting a dub at the end of the night. 4th down and 3, big defensive stop by the Dolphins. And assuming that, the Rams don't do anything Dan Campbell or Chip Kelly-wise with the fake punt, which would be stupid at that point of the field. Decent punt there. Fair caught. And steps out of bounds. All right, Dolphins, second possession. Can you repeat your first possession and take a 14-0 lead? That would be very impressive. Let's go, baby. Steele is in the building. What's good, Steele? I kind of had a feeling that you would be a good fit. Like I said, when we have, people that come through on the channel, it's pretty clear within the first, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, we can tell, if a person's going to be a good fit or not. And obviously there's going to be many individuals that, are going to be trolls or, they don't have chat etiquette or they're going to be haters or they're just trying to stir up the pot and cause drama. Glad to see you here, my guy. Yes, it was. And again, the Steelers kind of look like they could be that sleeper team, in the AFC besides the Chargers. We already know, the Kansas City Chiefs are winning in unbelievable ways. But if you're looking at teams that have a pretty good offense and a pretty good defense at this point that no one's really talking about, and obviously it looks like, at this point that we could get a Chiefs-Lions Super Bowl, right? But if any of those teams slip up in any major way, right now, I think like the Steelers and the Chargers are, two of the better teams. Like we obviously know the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, they're going to get more love and pub because of Josh Allen. But if you're looking at quality on both sides of the ball, Buffalo's defense sometimes is good, sometimes it's terrible. And obviously with the Charger defense, it's amazing, right? Steeler defense, amazing. And then obviously the offenses for the Chargers and Steelers have been getting better as the season has gone along. So even if those teams ended up meeting up with a team like Buffalo, I think a lot of the bettors would probably go Josh Allen in Buffalo. But I like looking at teams that actually have good production on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, special teams, coaching, play calling. And I'm definitely keeping an eye, for teams like the Steelers and the Chargers. It will definitely be a tough battle. But again, you want to make sure you're giving credit where credit's due. (7-0) Dolphins. Absolutely. I got to figure out what we're going to end up doing tomorrow and Wednesday. If I take one day off, if there's not really anything worth doing, but I don't want to take 2. So we're going to have to figure out NBA, NHL, freestyle food stream or something of that nature. We're going to have to figure something out. But Thursday night football looks great with Commanders and Eagles. Then we're going to end up doing the Huskies against UCLA on Friday night, and then obviously going into Saturday with the Oregon Ducks going to Wisconsin to play the Badgers. Kraken and Blue Jackets. Shotgun set, second down and 10. A timing route. And complete. Jonnu Smith, the intended tight end. Third down and 10. Yeah, I just don't know about doing Kraken streams at this point of the season. You know, I mean, if I do a Kraken stream and we only have like a couple people in the room, I'm not really sure if that's worth it. You know, I got to make sure that we're doing something that we have a good chance for likes and subs and views and donos. I'm gonna watch the game regardless, but I think that maybe doing some NHL streams after we go into 2025 might be a little bit better view wise. But and complete. But again, I guess we'll have to kind of wait and see. If we were going to end up getting a decent turnout, then I wouldn't mind doing Kraken streams, in between these NFL and college football games. But if I end up doing it and we have like 2 people in the room, that's that might not necessarily be worth it. Maybe it will, but. As long as I have people showing up, but it's like you want to be able to try to at least have a good amount of people. But on the flip side, I don't really enjoy a lot of the NBA either on that end. So it's like I would rather do NHL than the NBA, and I don't want to take 2 days off. So, but we'll figure it out. And we end up doing the Kraken tomorrow, then we do the Kraken, and then maybe take Wednesday off if there's nothing really worth doing. But I guess we'll have to experiment with a few streams with the Kraken as well as the NBA. And if we get decent results, then we'll keep doing them. And if it ends up being a little shaky, then we might just take 1 day off and then decide what we're going to do for NHL or NBA on the other day. Yeah. I'm thinking, it would either, be NHL or, maybe a freestyle stream or something like that, where we end up, just doing photos of particular topics and whatnot. Like if we end up doing food or we end up doing, something else, whatever it may be, throwback photos of old school sports legends or wrestlers or, whatever we decide to get into, musicians or cars or whatever, but I want to make sure that we're, we have to go through all the different possibilities because, again, if it's going to be a little bit lighter and I don't really want to do the NBA, that leaves really, the MLB is done, right? So that's not an option. NASCAR is done. That's not an option. So we're a little limited, on what we can do. And I definitely would be leaning NHL over the NBA any day. So maybe NHL or a freestyle stream is what we're looking at maybe tomorrow and Wednesday. And as we get closer to that time, and we'll kind of try to figure it out. Let's get a couple more photos here for Megan. Squeeze these in. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Appreciate you. Thank you for the support. We're at 25:75 to go. There's an icon. There's a legend. All right, first down and 10. Dolphins up 7-0 on a score on their first drive. Handoff to Kyren Williams, running into a Dolphin wall. Running backs having a little bit of a tough time so far. Shotgun set. Stafford, pump fake, hipped. Oh my, almost picked by the Dolphins. Yeah. Unfortunately, Cole, I can't show highlights of races on the stream itself, due to copyright issues. So that unfortunately wouldn't be an option. If that was something that was available to do, I mean, that would be amazing if I was able to actually use like NFL highlights and baseball highlights and basketball and racing and. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a Dolphin sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. But they unfortunately don't allow that. Big sack lunch by the Dolphins. The most desperate team is coming to play today. Robinson, right off the edge. And there's nowhere for Stafford to go. Yeah, let me know how Monday Night Raw is going as well. Fourth down and 19. Rams with the punt. Washington on the return, runs into his own man, goes down. 7-0 Miami. Squeeze in a few more photos here during the commercial break. Seven zero Miami. I gotta make some more room here. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how it goes for me in a lot of the games that I end up watching. I don't necessarily root for one or the other. Just want it to be a good competitive matchup. See some superstars make some amazing plays, and we got plenty of quality talent with Tua, Achane, Waddle, Tyreek, Jonnu Smith. And then obviously with Stafford and Kyren Williams, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua. So there's enough talent out there to make the plays, to make it interesting. And again, we just want to make sure that we're soaking in as much as we can. Next Monday night, Texans and Cowboys. That one will be a laugher. Yeah, we're getting very, very close to Thanksgiving. Very excited. It's my favorite holiday of the year. And obviously the matchups on Thanksgiving aren't necessarily the best. But again, they are going to end up having at least one game that will be worth, mentioning. So you got the Bears and Lions in the morning when everyone's busy. Giants and Cowboys is the one that a lot of people will watch when they're meeting up with family if they're eating. And then the last game is going to be the best game, the Dolphins and the Packers. So that'll be the stream that we end up doing on Thanksgiving when I get home. So first down and 10. 7-0 Dolphins. 8:08 left in the first quarter. Halfback toss to Achane. Going to that left side, running into 3 Rams. Short gain. 4-yard gain for Achane. But even, like necessarily like Dolphins and, Packers, those aren't going to be like my ideal choice. But if you're looking at the 3 games, that looks like that's going to be the best one, And hopefully Caleb will play a little bit better than he's played in the last month to make that Detroit game a little bit more exciting. Hopefully that the Bears just don't get absolutely torn up and blown out. But, it could happen. We've seen the Lions blow teams out, and we've seen some close matchups. So we'll wait and see. But then that middle game with the Giants and Cowboys, I don't think anyone really gives a shit about that one. Hell, at that point, you probably will have a lot of the country rooting for the fucking Giants to win, just based on, not really liking maybe either team and, feeling sorry for the Giants and hoping that they can get a dub. It might be the one time the whole country is actually rooting for the Giants to win. Maybe the only time this whole year. Third down and 6. Yeah, the international games are usually bootios. The matchups are not the greatest. Tua, little check down. There we go. First down, Dolphins. Move the chains. I think like out of every 5 international games ends up being good. But a lot of them end up underwhelming because you're playing on soccer fields and and they usually don't have the greatest teams going over there either. It's like, hell, if you're going to have the lower end teams go, again, for the international fans, they don't care, right? It's like NFL is there. They're excited. But if you're an NFL fan in America and you're waking up early at 6 a.m. to watch, you would hope that at least one of the 2 teams is good. First down and 10. Shotgun set for Tua. Handoff. And gets blasted towards the sideline. Raheem Mostert. Paisley just came into the studio, so I want to make sure I cover up like a burrito. All right, she misses Dad. Love you. Tua. Odell Beckham Jr. with a grab. Yeah. Well, especially, being in Australia, your sleep schedule and your time schedule and being on the time difference is going to be much different than a lot of us. And I'll say this, for me being a hardcore fan, I'm not going to watch every matchup that's going to be in London or Germany or, somewhere other than the United States, but I would say, probably half, if not more than half of the games I do end up, waking up early to watch. It kind of just depends on how Paisley is feeling and, we usually have an early morning walk that we have to do. But even if we end up doing that, usually I can catch at least the second half. Tua, tipped and complete, batted down. Good defense there by the Rams, by Turner. Yeah, because the majority of the international matchups this year have not really been that good. Tua throws it off Turner's face mask right there. Come on, Tua. 4th down and 8 as the Dolphins punt. You're up early watching Liverpool? Yeah. I think it just kind of depends on what kind of responsibilities and obligations you have. Like if I didn't have a pup, obviously, waking up early would not be an issue. I usually wake up early as it is, but, obviously her priorities come before mine, and I want to make sure that she's happy and healthy. So if I have to, miss a little bit of that action early in the morning, usually I don't miss out on too much of it. So 7-0 Miami. All right, Rams, your turn. Yeah, the Brazil game was good. Packers, Eagles. And obviously, if it wasn't a good matchup, I wouldn't have remembered that. First down and 10 for the Rams. Stafford under center, pump fake, bootleg, throw to the sideline. He's open. Demarcus Robinson. Or Tutu Atwell, excuse me. Second down. Yeah. Stafford, play action fake. Pressure off the edge. Looks like there was a hold by the Rams. Second down and 4. First down, Rams, but a clear hold there by the offensive line, not called. You can always tell once the quarterback snaps the ball and you start seeing a guy, being held by his neck or his shoulder pad, and he's just trying to get to the quarterback. It's just makes you kind of wonder, with these refs. And, of course, they don't want to slow the game down and call holding since there's holding on every play in every game. But some are definitely more blatant than others. That should have been called and not a first down. But, maybe they want the Rams to score a touchdown here. First down and 10, shotgun set for Stafford. 2:50 left, man in motion. Puka, handoff up the middle. Kyren breaks one tackle and runs into two Dolphins for a short game. McVay just slowly but surely trying to be able to get the right play calls in. And obviously Kyren and Achane are good enough on their own to be able to get good yards and, even if the defense ends up being a little stout. But we're still waiting for Puka and Cooper Kupp, baby. Short gain, flag on the play. Now we'll see if they end up calling a hold or a false start. Blake Corum getting a chance, the Michigan Wolverine rookie. Let's see what they call now. Maybe a makeup call. What is it? Holding on the offensive line or false start? Looks like it might be false start or illegal motion, something of that nature, illegal shift. Yep. Illegal formation. Yep. Second down and 10 on the Miami 49. We're at 25, 75 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, hour and a half. And if we can end up getting to 30, that would be ideal depending on the volume that we have. Man in motion, Stafford, hands off, right up the gut. Corum again getting another look. Short game. Third down and 7 for the Ramily. Time for Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua. Get him the ball. Only one TD in the first quarter of the season for the Rams, but again, a good chunk of that with no Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua, so that number would be much higher. Man in motion, Puka, 3rd and 7, Stafford, good time. Tipped, intercepted! Oh my. Dolphins came to play today, boy. Dolphins came out to play as the most desperate team today, boy. Okay. And again, sometimes, the unexpected ends up happening, where we think the Rams are the better team, which they are. But again, who's the most desperate team? And sometimes a team with a back against their wall, ends up having a little bit better, play than maybe expected. Let's see if he comes down with it. That football looked like it hit the ground a little. Let's take a look at that again. I mean, it looks like he's got his hands on it, but it slightly hits the ground. What do we think? Do we think that's a pick, clean, or is that something that they could possibly challenge? I'm not sure if you can win that challenge, though. Probably not. First down and 10. No challenge coming out there by McVay, so it looks like it stands. Not enough, not enough there to be able to make the challenge call. Halfback toss. Achane. Spin move. Hit him with the spin cycle. Whirlpool. Watch them close twice. First down. Dolphins. Move the chains. Seven more likes to be able to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. First quarter wrapping up. 20 seconds to go. First down and 10. Man in motion. Tua, halfback toss. Achane with a short gain. And that is the end of the first quarter, 7-0 Dolphins. That was probably the best first quarter that Miami has had all year. Again, they've only scored touchdowns in, 2 opportunities all year in the first quarter. Obviously this, being the 9th game for them. Okay. Defense looked pretty good. Even got a turnover. Now we have to wait for the Rams to kind of catch up. Kind of like the Texans and Lions, where we felt like the Lions were just going to beat up the Texans. And the Texans came out strong, but then the Lions ended up catching up at the end and winning. We'll have to wait and see if the Rams can do the same. But end of the first quarter, 7-0 Miami. We're still waiting for Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, as well as this individual right here, Tyreek the Freak Hill. But obviously with the injury, he might be playing more of a decoy role here today. But still, still healthy enough to be able to make at least some plays. Might not get in the end zone today, but we'll see. 7-0 Miami. All right, let's take a look at the NHL scene here on Monday. We got Flyers 3, Sharks 2, Stars 6, Penguins 1, end of the second period. Kings and Flames knotted up at 0, Canadiens 7, Sabres 5 final, and then we got the Preds and the Avalanche and the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights on later tonight. Okay, no problem. If you come back, let me know, and I can get a few more photos up for you. And college basketball. Cooper Flagg, come to the Blazers, baby. I mean, we didn't get a chance to get Wembanyama, but if we can get Cooper Flagg, and somehow the Blazers could be like the worst team in the NBA, we could get that first pick. That would be amazing. We're needing that kind of top-tier talent. All right, second quarter, y'all. Tua, little toss. Achane. Or Jalen Wright, excuse me. Short game. Third down and short. We're at 20,640, 60 more subs to go to 20,700. Shout out to all of the 20 to 25, 30 new subs that we've gotten within the last few weeks. Appreciate every single one of y'all, as well as the people that have subbed on this channel for a very long time. 3rd down and 2. Yeah, it looks like a stud. I mean, I'm not going to watch, every single game, of Duke or certain teams and complete the Jalen Waddle. I usually will do some streams for March Madness, and I'll end up watching a little of college hoops, during the regular season if it ends up being like a rivalry matchup like North Carolina Duke. Maybe that'll pique my interest to tune in, regardless if the teams are ranked or not. Or if Kansas is on, or one of the powerhouse teams in college football or college basketball, excuse me. But obviously, if college hoops is a little bit, more enticing or exciting than the NBA, kind of shows you where the state of the NBA is at. 4th down and 2, kick is up. And it's good. 50-yarder. 10-0 Dolphins. And this is exactly how the Texan game started off against the Lions yesterday. All right, Rams, it's your turn. At some point, you got to be able to go to your weapons. You just can't go to 8chan every single time. Or, you can't go to Kyron Williams every single time. Go to your playmakers. Return, big stiff arm, broke that tackle. And maybe a face mask there by the Dolphins. Let's see if they call it. Yeah, you can't really expect, schools that aren't basketball schools to go on a deep run every single year, but whenever it does happen, it's kind of nice. Same thing with like my Oregon Ducks. I used to watch Oregon football and Oregon basketball like religiously when I was younger, but I don't really watch as much Oregon basketball as I should. But it's always nice to have a team that normally maybe Oregon is known as somewhat a decent basketball school with Dana Altman. Ever since he got there, he kind of turned that program around. But when I really enjoyed it, when they had like Luke Ridenour, Luke Jackson, when they ended up having the double Lukes back in the day, that was kind of a fun time period there for the Oregon Duck hoops. Last year they had a decent run in the tourney, which was nice, and I ended up doing a couple streams of the Ducks during March Madness. 2nd down and 4. Stafford towards the sideline. Puka. 1st down. Rams. There you go. Go to your weapons, baby. First down and 10 on the Rams 28. Shotgun set. Stafford, good protection. Check down. Kyron Williams, and a good tackle by Jalen Ramsey. You don't really hear that name that much anymore. We used to hear about Jalen Ramsey being the best corner in football. Not really anymore. Things change pretty quickly in the NFL, where you can be the top dog 1, 2, or 3 at a position, have an injury or get traded to another team, and then almost be forgotten at that point. 2nd down and 9 for the Rams. Yeah, they do. Stafford, Cooper Kupp. Short gain on Cooper Kupp there for the Rams. 3rd down and 7 on the Rams 31. 7 more likes to be able to get to 20. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 6 more. Thank you so much. 6 more to go, and we're there. 3rd down and 7. Shotgun set for Stafford. Trips right. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Blitz. Steps up in the pocket. And it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Calais Campbell. Nice sack lunch by Campbell. Got to be a mobile quarterback. I mean, really, the only non-mobile quarterbacks that are having success this year are Joe Burrow and Brock Purdy. It's like if you got those 2 guys, then you might actually still be doing something in fantasy and obviously them in real life. But a lot of these guys, if you're not mobile and you're not a dual threat with your legs, it makes it a lot harder in the NFL in 2024. Washington with the return. Gets popped head-to-head and goes out of bounds. 10-0 Miami. Matt in the building. What's good? Let's take a look at the NBA scoreboard. Cavs 67, Bulls 66 at halftime. Cavs have been very, very good this year. 11-0. I don't know if anyone anticipated that, but Donovan Mitchell is the truth. Rockets 57, Wizards 44. We got Pelicans up on the Nets 56-54 at halftime. And then we got Thunder going against the Clippers 56-42 on NBA TV. And then Spurs up 60-55 against the Kings. So it looks like the Kraken and the Blazers are both on tomorrow at the same time. So I guess those could be options if I wanted to go that route. Or we might end up doing a freestyle stream. I'm not really too sure yet what we're going to end up doing. So. But regardless on what we end up doing, if we end up doing a late stream of the Kraken or the Blazers, I'm going to watch both at the same time. It's just one is going to be a primary and one's going to be, just like another thing that we're watching. So, but we will see. Mavs and Warriors on at 7 also on TNT. That will be decent if you're an NBA fan. First down and 10. Handoff. Good defense there by the Rams. Wow, sniff that out. Verse from Florida State. Oh, my. Jared Verse. We already knew that he was a stud in college, and he's starting to make his presence known here tonight and this year. Nice job by the Rams defense. Ramily, I see you. Second down and 15. Shotgun set. Tua. Hit! Oh my! Go, go, go! Go, go, go. I love defense. Let's go. Here we go. Cooper Kupp Puka Nacua will have a chance to be able to get something here, but there's more than likely will be a Kyron touchdown on this drive. We got a flag on the play. Let's see if they end up calling it on the Rams. What do we got here? Let's see if Roseboom's pick stands. On the bright side, though, for you, Matt, Bo Nix is number one in almost every category as a rookie quarterback. Personal foul, blindside block, but touchdowns, Bo Nix is first. No surprise. We thought him and Jaden Daniels were the most pro-ready. Completions, 206, number one out of rookies. 1,968 passing yards, that's second. 63.6 completion percentage, third. 10 games played first, and attempts first. So a solid, year, and they got a lot of holes that still need to be filled. Better running backs, better wide receivers, tight ends, better offensive line, better defense. But for what they have to work with, Bo has been doing what we thought he was going to do, going from Oregon to Denver. First down and 10 for the Rams. Let's see if they can punch this into the end zone. Kyron. Oh, ball came out. Uh-oh. Wow, did Kyron really fumble that? Dolphins recover, but supposedly Kyron is saying he was down. Let's see a replay. Wow. Wow. God, the Dolphins came to play today. My goodness. Let's take a look at the replay board if we can here. Is he down? Looks like he's down. I mean, there's bodies kind of in the way, but wow. Yeah, after looking at that angle, that does look like a fumble. Initially, I thought maybe he got his knee down, but he didn't. And I'm pretty sure that ball is already coming loose. And yeah, damn, that's terrible luck there for Kyron Williams. Wow. And you're not going to see him fumble that often. That's just good play by the Miami Dolphins. They are rolling right now. Wow. Like everything that normally the Rams, don't do, they're doing here today. Tyreek, there he is. First catch of the night. Looks like they're using him as more of a decoy here today, but nice to see Tyreek with the football. But it definitely looks like he's running a little gingerly. It looks like he's like, maybe 70 to 80%. He definitely doesn't look 100. But he does have a wrist injury. It's not with his legs, but we'll see if they end up getting a deep cutty, to Waddle or Tyreek. But so far, the wrist is not a factor. First down and 10. Yeah, interception for nothing. That's a damn shame. Tua, hands off, runs into two Rams. Stonewalled, sit down. Loss of 3 there. Bobby Brown. No Whitney, though. Wisconsin, it'll be a tougher matchup than what we had this weekend because we're going to be on the road. And again, we own them in the Rose Bowl when we played Russell Wilson and when we obviously played them when we had Justin Herbert. And they're not as good as they traditionally have been in the past. But again, I do feel that for a team that's like, has about a 500 record, that the crowd will be rocking. I know we're going to win that game. But again, it'll be a good test, to go on the road. And I assume it'll be kind of similar to the last game where we might struggle a little bit in the first half. Wisconsin will play off the fans. And then, we might end up fucking up on a couple third downs. maybe a couple turnovers, hopefully nothing serious, and then we'll clean it up after halftime and end up winning by 14 or more. So, third down and 13. I mean, we got to definitely take every opponent. And also, we have to find out about Jordan James, if he's going to be healthy or not. Because if Jordan James isn't healthy and he doesn't play, it'll give Wisconsin a better chance to keep it closer. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And a fumble. He coughed it up. Oh, my. It's a turnover party. Oh, my. Turnover. 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 My goodness. This is wild. 7 years without a first-round pick. And the first-round pick makes the tackle. The ball comes out. Land on it. The thing that annoys me the most, about defensive players and fumbles, you fall on the football. But everyone is so, ingrained in their brain to scoop and score, even if they're not close to the end zone. If you just need to fall on the football. And, regardless if you're a D lineman, a nose tackle, D tackle, DN, or a corner or safety, or even a linebacker, fall on the football. Wow. All right, Rams. I mean, I don't know how many chances you're going to get. Play action fake. There we go. I was about to say they've been a little too conservative with just running it up the gut with Kyron. And then obviously now with the fumble, you're going to have to be able to, mix it up a little bit like we saw with the Miami offense on that first drive. Play action, a fake toss, a play action. They went to Waddle. Maybe do the same thing. A fake toss to Kyron, and then Puka dropped it. He didn't even catch it. It's an incomplete pass there. Yeah, incomplete. But they got to be able to find creative ways to get Puka and Cooper Kupp the football. Jet sweep, reverse, a fake toss, play action. And we obviously know Stafford isn't mobile like Tua. They can't really run away like some of the other quarterbacks. And Tua's probably better at running than Stafford at this point in his career. But even with that being said, I don't think anyone really wants to see Tua running away with the football in his hands with his concussion history. 2nd down and 10. They got it. I mean, at this point, you might as well take a deep shot, to Puka or Cooper Kupp. Obviously the worst thing that can happen could be an interception, by something like Ramsey or one of their other, secondary members. But you could also get a flag for PI. And, as good as Puka and Cooper Kupp are, one-on-one, they're going to win that matchup most of the time. So we'll see if we end up getting a deep shot by Stafford at some point. I mean, you might as well. Nothing has really been working up to this point anyways. And, running it up the gut with Kyron isn't really working. At least at some point, the Dolphin defense will get tired. And more than likely, Kyron will get in the end zone in the second half. Or if they go for a long bomb and they end up getting it down to the 3-yard line, then they'll go to Kyron and he'll get an easy 3-yard rush for a tutty. But, they have to be able to get the football downfield, and we've had a lot of fucking turnovers. Crazy. Six more likes to be able to get to 20. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Now we're at 15. Thank you so much. 5 more to go to hit the goal, and then we can start getting into the algorithm. We're at 15. 5 more to go to hit 20. Let's get there, baby. Go to your weapons. Know who your weapons are. You guys were ultimately very, very bad while they were out. When you have them healthy, don't ignore them. You got to make sure you're utilizing these two guys because let's be honest, when these two guys are healthy, they're top 10 receivers in the league. Both of them. If they get enough targets and they get enough opportunities. Facts. And on the flip side, let's see if Tyreek ends up being more of a decoy. Only 1 catch so far, and let's see if they can get Waddle more opportunities as well. They used him very heavy in the first quarter, but then kind of faded him. 25, 75 to go. Witt in the building. LeBron in the building. Mookie in the building. And then they're going to end up getting Sasaki, the other Dodger phenom pitcher that will be soon to sign from Japan. Pretty soon, the Dodgers are just going to be a Japanese baseball team. It's going to be awesome. There we go. Great play call. Cooper Kupp gets fucking blasted, but you know what? Cooper can take that impact, baby. There we go. First down, Rams. Exactly what I wanted from McVay. There you go. First down, Ramley. If they're going to play that zone, Cooper will fall behind it. Bang! Takes a big fucking hit, but he doesn't drop the football. Nice job. And a lot of receivers would have definitely had that fly out of their hands. Nice job, Cooper Kupp. That's my guy, Eastern Washington, bang. Pacific Northwest guy. First down and 10. Man in motion. Hand off, up the gut. You're not going to get a whole lot. I mean, it might work against other teams, running up the gut with like Achane and Kyron Williams, but so far the defensive linemen have been pretty stout for both squads, for the Dolphins and for the Rams, making it extra difficult for Achane and Kyron Williams to get yards and ultimately touchdowns. But I wouldn't count either of those guys out from scoring before the game is up. Yeah, I mean, Mike Williams, another guy that's been really injury prone, and they probably thought, well, we don't really know what we're going to get out of him, but yeah, definitely nice to see him get in the end zone. Stafford looking towards the sideline. Puka, short gain. Third down. 3-yard gain for Puka. Third down and 4. Shotgun set. Stafford. Throw to the outside. And again, if you're going to make that throw, it's going to have to go to Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua. You can't make that throw to Allen thinking he's going to catch that. Fourth down and 4. Got to go to someone other than Davis Allen. I mean, come on. At least if you're going to run that route, have it go to Demarcus Robinson. At least Demarcus has got good hands, but that was a little bit out of reach anyways. Not the greatest throw, but 34-yarder. Kick is up and is good. There we go. Finally got on the board. There we go. 10-3 Dolphins. I wouldn't be surprised, even though there's a lot of haters of Russell Wilson and whatnot, but I mean, if you got one of the best defenses in the NFL in the Steelers, right, with TJ Watt and company, right, and then, George Pickens really wasn't a factor all year or even last year, right, and if you can get a quarterback that actually can get your number one receiver the ball, that's going to open up the running game for Najee and Jalen Warren, and, it wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers go a little bit further than people think. Now, I don't know about Super Bowl, but I definitely think that they're one of the sleeper teams that could make it difficult for the Chiefs if they match up with them. I don't think that the Chiefs would want to play the Steelers or a team like the Chargers, but, those two teams I'm definitely keeping a close eye on, even though, if you got Mahomes and you got Kelsey and you got Andy Reid and you got, obviously, Spags, it's going to be hard to beat them, and especially once they go to the playoffs, we already know how that typically goes, so. And then obviously the NFC is up for grabs. But, after the Lions, who's to say who's the second best team in the NFC? Like, who can actually beat the Lions? And they don't have Hutch, and Hutch might end up, somewhat being, I don't know if he'll end up playing this year at all, even if they make the Super Bowl. I don't know if they would want to try to rush him back, but we'll see if what Za'Darius can do, coming over from the Browns, and that'll fill a little bit of a hole and a gap that Hutch left after getting injured, but. Right now it's the Chiefs and the Lions, but that doesn't mean that we're going to get that matchup in the Super Bowl, but it's probably the most likely matchup, at least today. Maybe in a couple weeks, we'll be mentioning a couple other teams that could get there as well, but I feel like after the Lions, I'm not really sure if there's a team that we could solidify and say, yep, this is the second best team. like Eagles, Commandos, Packers. I don't know. I mean, you're definitely not going to be saying anybody from the NFC West because they're all around 500. You're not going to say Cardinals. You're not going to say Falcons either. So I think the NFC West and the NFC South are out of the question. So if you are going to be talking about a team in the NFC, it's probably going to be from the North or the East. So it's going to have to either be the Commandos or the Eagles, or it's going to have to be the Packers or maybe like the Vikings, right? I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at. Maybe I go Falcons over Vikings, if we're going to, go that route. But again, Vikings got a pretty good defense. It's just Sam Darnold is not reliable. 5:46 left in the second quarter, 10-3 Dolphins. Just nice to be able to see George Pickens show what he can do. We saw how good he was in college, but again, Justin Fields can't throw. So again, even though Russell Wilson isn't everyone's favorite guy off the field, or maybe even on the field, he is the better quarterback, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's actually having success, even though he might be a little bit of a weirdo with him and Sierra off the field. Him living in his own world, thinking that he's still a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, even though he's not. But I will say that at this point, what we've seen out of Russ, he's looked like a top 16 quarterback, and even at times he looked like a top 10. So good for the Steelers and Mike Tomlin for making the change. That was a smart move. Tyreek with a little end around. Tyreek definitely doesn't look healthy out there. If you would have not known that it was a wrist injury, you would almost assume that it was something with his legs, because it doesn't seem like he's. I don't want to say Tyreek doesn't look in football shape, but just on some of these routes, he's not really running very hard. Cool kid in the building. What's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Smash that like button for your boy. And we're at 25:75 to go to hit the goal on the Dono train. Man in motion. Hand off. Right up the gut. First down, Dolphins. Move the chains, H-Chan. See if they can get H-Chan in somewhat of a rhythm. First down and 10. Look like false start on the Dolphins. Screen pass. Tyreek is there. There we go. A little bit of that's the first time that we've seen Tyreek show a little bit of speed that we're accustomed to. Look at all these coaches under Mike Shanahan. Washington fumbled the bag big time. They could have had McVay. They could have had Shanahan. They could have had LaFleur, McDaniel. Hell, they could have even went Morris. Unbelievable. It's always cool to see coaching trees like from back in the day with the Packers and, and looking at all of the different, assistants and whatnot with Gruden and everyone. Again, sometimes it starts at the top, but you got to have good, help with coordinators and coaches to help you along the way. Second down and 5. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. You got to get rid of the ball, Tua. 15-yard loss. Unbelievable. Turner, Young, Verse. You got to get rid of the football, young man. Yeah, Cameron Hayward, Minka, TJ. 6 tackle for loss. They're going in the wrong direction. Third down and 20. I mean, even though the score is only 10-3, it's been pretty entertaining with all the turnovers. Tua, H-Chan, and not going to get there. The Rams defense, after they lost Aaron Donald, everyone thought, this defense is going to be absolute dog shit. And there was a little bit of a transitional period. But again, some of the draft picks that they ended up, making, and again, they haven't had a first-round pick in 7 years. And I like some of these younger Rams that are on the team, and they play in spurts. But again, it's not really the same without Aaron Donald. But they're not, like dead last in a lot of the categories. The Rams definitely show flashes of like when they had Aaron, a few years ago. Dolphins with the punt. Smith watches that go out of bounds, and now we need a touchdown in the last 2 minutes and 13 seconds to Puka, right, to Cooper Kupp or Kyron to be able to, get this tied up at halftime. But look at these draft picks here. Sean McVay don't miss. Cooper Kupp, 3rd round. Kyron from Notre Dame, 5th round. Big steal. Probably the best 5th round pick in the last 5 years. Kyron Young, 3rd round. Kobe Turner, 3rd round. Puka, 5th round, another 5th rounder. I mean, Kyron and Puka, you got guys that are top 5 or top 10 at their position in the 5th round. I mean, not many guys can evaluate talent as good as Sean McVay, and it shows. Unbelievable. Like, how do you get guys that talented to slip that far? Puka and Kyron. Kyron, there we go. Put your head down, young man. Still a good opportunity for the Rams if they go on a deep play where they might be able to get something going here. Yeah, Brady was almost like an anomaly, though. Brady got, put on a team with the right coach, the right supporting cast with Gronk, and also he had the Kobe Bryant mentality, work ethic, and not many, 5th, 6th, 7th rounders do. And again, if you're able to work hard and work harder than anybody else, with your diet and your film regimen and everything else, you may not be the most athletic guy, but you can win, in other categories based off intelligence, and fucking Brady did. But it definitely helps when you have a top 10 defense. You got Belichick, one of the best coaches, and you end up having Gronk, one of the best tight ends in this generation for his check down guy to go to. So, it was the perfect fit. Now, if Tom Brady would have ended up getting drafted by like the Jets or like the Browns, we're probably not talking about Tom Brady today, So sometimes it's just a matter of the right place at the right time in the right situation. So that's why sometimes it takes a couple teams for that quarterback to be able to find their maybe forever home, like Baker Mayfield, going from, the Browns, having a little bit of success and taking them to the playoffs, but just a horrible organization from top to bottom, right? Then, getting a chance to go to the Panthers, then the Rams for a tryout, and then eventually to the Bucs for like a prove-it deal. And then after he did well, now it's going to be our quarterback for the foreseeable future. So sometimes you have to go to your 2nd, 3rd, 4th team before you can actually find yourself. Because can you imagine if Baker ended up staying on the Browns and that was it? Maybe Baker's not even in the league right now, or he's like a backup on another team. So sometimes, there's blessings in disguise, even though it may not be the, final destination for you initially. Sometimes you got to be able to, find that right coach and right team that believes in you. Hey, guy in the building, what's good? Yeah, God, he's terrible. Rodgers, they're done. Everyone thought Tom Brady was going to be Aaron Rodgers this year. Not so fast. How's it going, hey, guy? Raiders in the building. What's good, bro? 10-3 Dolphins. And hopefully we can get some points here. That's been a turnover party. 10-3 Miami. Short game. And we're getting pretty close to the likes here. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We only need a couple more to be able to get to 20. If you are in the room and haven't done it yet, please do. We're at 16 now. 4 more to go. Puka. 9-yard gain for Puka Nacua. Allen for 4 yards. There you go. On 2nd down and 1. First down, Ramley. Move the chains. Gaining a little bit of rhythm here. Shotgun set. Stafford steps up in the pocket. Little check down. There we go. Kyron Williams. Dolphin player trying to hang on to him and hug him to bleed the clock a little bit more. Shotgun set. Stafford, get rid of it. There's the long bomb. But incomplete. Demarcus Robinson, the intended receiver. That's their deep guy. .39 seconds to go. Yeah, man, Cowboys unwatchable. And even like CeeDee Lamb complaining about, the sun coming in. Jerry Jones don't give no fucks. He don't give a shit about anything. Like, if your players can't fucking see the football because your dumbass doesn't have curtains to be able to block out the sun, like, you're ultimately letting your team lose. But you don't care about Super Bowls. All he cares about is profit. Kind of reminds me of the Seattle Mariners. They don't really care about winning. They just want to make money, which is sad as fuck. Like, that's why we need to get rid of these shitty ass owners and have them sell. But it doesn't look like Jerry Jones ain't going anywhere. And if he ends up passing away, his sons are just going to take over and do the same dumb shit that he did, unfortunately. And then Stanton for the Mariners doesn't look like he's going to be selling anytime soon. Get his ass out of there as well as DePoto. Yeah, you want to give me the college football rankings? You want to type in like the top 10? So everyone can see where we're at, what we're looking at. I know that the Big Ten has got 4 of the first 5 teams, which is awesome. First down and 10, shotgun set. SEC fans can't believe it. Uh-oh, fumble. Land on it. Wow. 77 tried to get on it, but it went back into Stafford's hands. Got to call timeout, McVay. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, either one of you, like I said, if one of y'all wants to do the first 10, and Matt, if you want to do 11 through 25 or something like that. So that way we can all kind of see the layout of the college football playoff and how everything is going. Very exciting time. Nice defense there by Bell. 2nd down and 19. It's been a little bit of a defensive struggle. We're at 25, 75 to go. 2nd and long, 2nd in eternity. So you can go Puka, you can go Cooper Kupp, or you can go Demarcus Robinson. I mean, any of those guys can win their matchup one-on-one. Shotgun set. Stafford, good protection, going deep. There we go, Puka. Gotta hurry, get up. Now, are they just going to settle for a field goal? It looks like it. Like it. Wow. Bad clock management there by the Rams. I think they could have gotten another playoff, but now they're going to just go for a field goal to make it 10-6, which would be the smart call. A 55-yard attempt. And it's good. There you go. 5 points in fantasy for anyone that's got the Rams kicker. Nice job. Right down the middle, too. Sharp. Hell, that one could have went 60. Nice job. Okay, not ideal. We wanted a little bit more scoring, but at least the game is competitive. And I know we're going to get touchdowns in the second half. But again, defenses are going to get a little bit tired. But so far, for a low-scoring game with all those turnovers, it hasn't been terrible, 4 more likes to 20. Let's get there, baby. How you liking this guy, guy? I know a lot of teams are very jealous and wish that they had a guy like Brock Bowers. Yeah, we don't talk politics on here, my guy. I've already had to deal with all of the fucking commercials and all of the bullshit. I don't want to. Yeah, we ain't gonna discuss that, my guy. Not here. Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana, Tennessee, BYU, Notre Dame, Bama, Ole Miss. And Georgia, Miami, Boise State, SMU, Texas A&M. Army, Clemson, Colorado. Good for Washington State and the Cougs to get up there. I mean, they've had a great record all year, and I really think that should have been a team that the Big Ten should have invited. I think if we could have had Oregon State and Washington State join, it would have been great for the rivalries with Washington and Washington State, as well as Oregon and Oregon State. But it is what it is. I agree. And obviously, NFL ready. Just like Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, you just knew, that the guy was going to be a baller right out of the gate. Yeah, imagine if you end up having a good quarterback, what could possibly happen, for sure. 10-6, Dolphins. Yeah, definitely a generational player. I agree to that as well. Louisville, South Carolina, Missouri, Tulane. Honorable mentions. Yeah, it happens though. But at least, Genty is the real deal, and it gives us a reason to keep an eye on Boise State. So, we are Cool Kid. We are using just the ESPN platform. Fastest 3 minutes. All right, Berman. Boom. Show me. Love Chris Berman. I miss Berman and Tom Jackson, Madden and Summerall. I miss the OGs, man. I just feel like the broadcasting, crews with football were so much better back in the day. Kelsey with the spot. Andy Reid can't believe it. Flacco looked good in the early part of the season, but he looks terrible now. Commandos and Steelers, one of the best games over the weekend. Two quality teams. Danger Russ, man. Some of the throws that Russ makes, man, makes you think, man, he shows flashes of that top 3 quarterback he used to be. Anybody could beat the Cowboys. Hell, we could actually suit up a team and beat the Cowboys. They're terrible. Christian McCaffrey is back. Good to see him. Thanks for fucking my fantasy team over. Appreciate that, CMC. Nice win for the Niners, a game that they should have won. Cardinals kind of coming out of nowhere. Tyler's playing some very good football now. First place in the NFC West for a team that we thought that would be probably dead last. The NFL is wild. You never know what's going to happen. There are a lot of teams go from worst to first. Rizzy getting a win. Herbert playing some great football right now. That Charger team is locked in with Harbaugh. Fun to watch. Vikings defense, great. Sam Darnold, not so much. And good for Drake May. Sometimes it takes these guys a little bit longer to find the rhythm and whatnot. And hopefully we can get Caleb Williams playing a little bit better like he did a few weeks back, because he has been struggling. Here we go. Finley likes this. Punch out on Tracy. A nice little recovery. Kick is up and good. Panthers win overseas. 20-17 in overtime. Yeah, I've watched him, pretty closely too. It's taken him a little time to get transition from the college game and the way that Oregon played offense to what you guys got with the Raiders and whatnot. So I think it'll be kind of a work in progress. We ended up getting Graham Barton in Tampa, and he's been doing pretty well also. But again, offensive line is a tough position to play, let alone center, one of the most valuable pieces on an offensive line. But hopefully he'll continue to make adjustments in his game and get better and better, and he can end up being at least a solid starter for you moving forward. Anybody watching Monday Night Raw right now? What's going on Monday Night Raw? 4 more likes to get to 20 to get to the goal. We're just about to kick off here in just a few minutes. What playmaker is going to make the play in the second half? You tell me. Yeah, but AR ain't going to turn that ship around. You put AR back in there, the same shit's going to happen. That the reason why you benched him, you know. I mean, it's like, did you guys forget like how bad he looked and had like the lowest completion percentage out of any quarterback in the NFL? Like magically, do people think that that's going to just disappear and he's going to turn into a top 5 quarterback? Not going to happen. I mean, I know that we have like recency bias and it's all about what we remember that's happened recently, but you know, go back and watch the film on how bad he looked, you know, prior. It's more than a quarterback issue on that team. It's a culture issue. You know, there's a lot of things that need to change for the Colts if they want to be able to be on top in the AFC South. You know, there's like a lot of bad teams in that division, just like in my division as well. You know, and it's not necessarily just injuries. You know, it's the culture. Ultimately, you just need a better quarterback than Flacco and AR. Flacco's a backup. That's what he is, you know. But got to get a better quarterback than Richardson. Because if you keep sticking it out with him, you're just going to continue not to make the playoffs. And it's just going to be fucking misery, you know, for every Colts fan, even that fucking Colts fan that does the little theme song or whatever on social media. Colts fans deserve to have some joy instead of just having fucking loss after loss after loss. Rough. All right, baby. Third quarter, 10-6, Dolphins. I agree with that. I think that's true. I think both of them need to go too. Get rid of Flacco. You know, get rid of Flacco. Get rid of Richardson. Get rid of the GM. Get rid of the head coach. We got to blow that shit up. It's a culture issue, you know. It's like, you know, there's some pieces that are kind of nice, you know, with Jonathan Taylor there and, you know, with Pittman and Downs and whatnot. But offensive line used to be like a top 5 offensive line in the NFL, not anymore. You know, Quentin Nelson used to be one of the best players in the NFL, not anymore. You know, like he's still a name, but, you know, offensive line needs to be better. Defense needs to be a hell of a lot better, you know, and they need to figure out a defensive-minded coach and obviously a really good offensive coordinator with the right quarterback. Easier said than done, obviously. Second down and 1. Shotgun set for Stafford. Man in motion. Handoff up the middle. First down, Rams. Move the chains. Now, Flacco, you know, is going to throw picks, but he actually has a better arm than Richardson. You know, he's more accurate, you know, most of the time. You know, he actually can get the football to the tight end and the receivers. AR can't. You know, AR can be a guy that can run, you know, but again, for a quarterback that can only run and not throw, I don't know how much value that has, you know, where they know you can't throw the ball and make a completion, you know. And again, like, you know, we've seen him make like a 60-yard throw. He has a good power where he can throw for distance, Stafford, but he doesn't have any touch on his throws. So it's like, yeah, you can go for a 60-yard bomb to Pierce or Downs, but then if it's like a 5-yard slant, you overthrow it or underthrow it by a mile, and that's a problem. Sometimes we just have to admit that, you know, that we fucked up, that we picked the wrong guy, you know. And again, for a guy that didn't really have a whole lot of experience in high school and college, you know, for him not to be that good in the NFL shouldn't really be that much of a surprise. Athlete, definitely did good in the combine, but you have to be better than just being great at the combine in the NFL. At some point, you're going to get exposed. And unfortunately, that's happened with AR. First down and 10. Handoff. Kyron. Like really, even if you had a better coaching staff and better weapons like the Niners, right? AR would be slightly better than what he is right now with the Colts, but he would still be doing the same fucking shit. Now we got an injury. Dolphin down. I don't think Caleb is a bust yet. I mean, obviously, we've seen that he does have potential to make plays, and there was a few games this season where he looked pretty good, but he wasn't NFL ready, like Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels, and it shows. And again, it's like you're going to have good games out of Caleb and bad games. You're going to have good out of Drake May and bad. And obviously, we don't know about Michael Penix Jr. and J.J. McCarthy yet, so we'll have to. The jury is still out on those because we have to wait for those guys to play. But I don't think I would call Caleb a bust. I mean, I think he's better than Justin Fields, as far as the Bears quarterback. But again, it's more than Caleb. They need a new coach. They need a new GM. They need a better offensive line, and they need a better defense to help him out. They have, running backs and wide receivers and tight ends, with Keenan Allen and Cole Kmet and, DJ Moore. So they have some pieces there, but the O-line needs to be drastically improved, and they need to be able to change the culture. And that's like the Colts. Like the Colts and the Bears need to change the culture, and they need to be able to find their Dan Campbell, type of coach, or their Sean McVay. And if they can get their Sean McVay or their Dan Campbell, pair it up with the right quarterback, then maybe you got something cooking. But again, a lot of these teams, they have some pieces, but not enough to be a successful football team in the NFL consistently. So, but I wouldn't say that Caleb is a bust yet. Normally you have to give a guy like 3-4 years. Not every quarterback is going to pan out first year. Some guys don't even pan out in the second year. But, you want to be able to see within that first 4-year period in their rookie deal. And if they can't get it done there, then they might be, a backup or a third string or out of the league. Sometimes you got to go to your third or fourth team before you make it, like Baker Mayfield. Baker was on the Browns, had some success and some failures, then had to go to the Panthers, then the Rams, then the Bucks, and now Baker is, if he didn't have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin go down, he would be an MVP candidate. So it shows you, like, sometimes you just got to find the right place with the right coach, with the right people that believe in you. And I don't think anyone really believed in Baker, or he had the proper support in those other three places. And obviously we knew with the Rams, it wasn't going to be a long-term fit. It was just going to be like, we're going to pick you up. We're going to try to get your confidence back. And then whatever team picks you up after the experiment with the Rams, then maybe that'll be your forever team. And that's exactly what happened with Baker and the Buccaneers. Second down and 2. Hand off, up the gut. Kyron, first down, Rams. Move the chains. Cleaning his ears, huh? Yeah, but even if the Bears would have went Jaden Daniels, with the first pick in the draft, he would be better than Caleb in Chicago, and they would have more wins. But again, fumble. I'll get rid of it. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. But with the offensive line being so shitty in Chicago and their defense, at some points, maybe being good on one category and then the other one not so much. So it's like, if you're only good at run defense and you suck at pass defense, or you're really good at pass defense and you suck at run defense, like Chicago, they're normally only good on one side of the defense. That's a problem, but I think that, Jaden Daniels would have been a better pick, but again, they don't have the right GM, they don't have the right coach, and they don't have the right coordinators. So you wouldn't see the same Jaden Daniels that you're seeing on the Commandos you would see in Chicago. But it would equate to more wins, and they would have a better record than they do with Caleb right now, in my opinion. Jaden is kind of like a Lamar Jackson, 2.0. Hell, maybe even the Bears would be probably better with Bo Nix. If Bo Nix went number 1 overall, I think that they would probably have a few more wins, than what you have right now. And again, it's going to be, the Chicago Bears are not an ideal fucking situation. It's like, like the Jets or the Browns. Like, you can kind of grab a chunk of the teams in the NFL, and it's just kind of a shit show. Where they have a shit owner or a shit GM or shit coaches or coordinators or shit O-line. Like, you just can't expect a guy to come in there and then everything is going to be, hunky-dory and it's going to be a 10-win team right out of the gates. It just doesn't fucking happen. The team game. 3rd down and 21. Little screen, short gain. Puka with a 5-yard gain. Yeah, that's one problem that is the biggest problem for Caleb is holding onto the football too long. But that is something that can be corrected, if the offensive line gets better, A lot of pressure when you're the number 1 pick. It's almost like a curse. Oh, flag on the play. Especially if you end up being in the Heisman, race and win a Heisman or you're, one of the Heisman guys, It's like almost the worst thing that could possibly happen to you is be a quarterback, win the Heisman, and be the number 1 pick. It's like you're almost destined to fail, unless that team can get the right TM and head coaches and coordinators for that quarterback within a couple years, so. Fourth and 21 with a 57-yarder. Kick is up. No good. But a few weeks ago, the NFC North had the best record top to bottom, where everyone had an above 500 record or at least a 500 record. So, even though the Bears are now kind of falling back to reality, and Caleb and the offensive line are not really playing that great, they need to be able to, fix that O-line and obviously get a better defense, and if they can do that, then that'll definitely help. But, I don't know if anyone really truly believes that Caleb is going to lead that team to an NFC championship game or Super Bowl in his career. I don't know if he's going to be that kind of guy. I think there's probably a better chance of him being a bust rather than being a Super Bowl guy, if we're being honest. But you never know, and maybe, maybe this is not going to be the only team that Caleb plays on. Maybe they give up on him. He ends up going to a better team, and ends up having success somewhere else, All right, Dolphins, your turn. I was really hoping for like a 28-24 or 24-20 game, but with all the turnovers that we've had, and obviously the line of scrimmage being dominated by both D lines, I don't even know if we're even going to get to fucking 20 for either one of these teams, but I hope that at least one of them does. But we'll have to wait and find out. Defensive rankings, it's got Chargers, Steelers, Chiefs, and Bears based off like points. 12.6, 14.9, 18.4, 18.5. But obviously it's more than just points, But their run defense is not very good, 20th. and number 8 in pass defense. So they're a good pass defensive team, but their run defense stinks. They need to get an anchor like a Vita Vea, Aaron Donald. Get a couple of those guys to be able to stuff the run. A generational type of talent. And obviously, a really good, stud linebacker would obviously help. Chicago has always been known for their linebackers with Urlacher and whatnot, and Dick Butkus and all these other guys. So it's like once you start getting, a stud linebacker and then a stud D tackle, then maybe we're talking. Second down and 8. Shotgun set. Trips left. Jonnu Smith. First down, Dolphins. Move the chains. And you went to Waddle at the beginning of the game. They need to go back to him, and that's kind of the problem with the Dolphins. Once they start having success with a guy in the first quarter, like you don't even see him get the ball the rest of the fucking game, and you wonder why the Dolphins are fucking 2-6. Like, go to your guy that gave you success early on. If Tyreek is injured with the wrist as a decoy, right, go to fucking Waddle. He's capable. It's not like you have a backup quarterback in there and Tua's not playing. Like, don't waste these guys' talents. And it can't go to 8-chan 50 times a game. Well, I guess it can, but, I mean, we'll see if that strategy works. Well, Fuller with an injury. Uh-oh. It's got to be 20-something. I mean, I would guess 20 to 23 points would be the average. I mean, especially it's a passing league, it's hard to hold teams to 10 points or less. I mean, you don't really see that, like you don't really see a lot of, I mean, I guess it really depends on injuries and a number of things, but I mean, some games are low scoring like this where you have 10-6, but I mean, you're not going to get a lot of these games. A couple a week, but Jonnu Smith, wow, runs over a guy. Go, Jonnu. Wow. Down to the 1. First and goal. 8-10 about to get a score. Nice job, Jonnu Smith. Nice job, Jonnu. I'll see you. Now this will be an easy touchdown for 8-chan right up the gut. Timeout called. Yeah, I was going to say, they're not in our division, bro. I mean, if Texas and Oklahoma were still in the conference, then that might mean something, but all the zest. He looks like a character in Grand Theft Auto or a dealer. First and goal. Play action fake. Touchdown, Dolphins. And there's Tyreek. There he is. Used as a decoy early part of the game. And Tyreek Hill with the tutty. Only 2 touchdowns for the year for Tyreek. What a down year. But at least he ends up touching pay dirt here. 16-6, Miami. Well, 9 times out of 10, they run it to Achane. So the one time that they decide not to, they were going to go to either Waddle or Tyreek, and it worked. Creativity has been pretty good here for the Dolphins in this matchup. A lot of turnovers, back and forth. This has been a game that's been dominated by the defensive lines. Offensive lines have been piss poor for both teams, and there's been a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions, a lot of fumbles. And again, Miami is the more desperate team with only 2 wins. So, and it's not like the Rams are out of reach. I mean, they're only down a little bit, But again, they need to be able to get into the end zone. And normally what happens with the Rams when they're successful, Kyren Williams gets in the end zone once or twice, and that gives them, 14, and then maybe they get a field goal, and then the rest of the points come much easier for the receivers because they're worried about Kyren running on them. But the running games haven't really been that good today for Achane or for Kyren, surprisingly. So, it leads more to the tight ends and the receivers to have more pressure to make the plays. So. Yeah, but you already know that we are. We're going to go and play the Big Ten championship against Ohio State. We're going to try to be able to beat them again. And then even if we lose, I hope that we play them in the Natty. That's going to be the best matchup in college football. Oregon and Ohio State for the Natty 3 times. First time, we win by 1. Second time, maybe Ohio State wins the Big Ten championship. And then third time for the Natty, we win. And, if we have to take a loss in the Big Ten championship, but we win the whole thing, that's the one that matters the most. Of course, it would be great if we could beat a team 3 times in a season, but obviously that is very, very difficult to do. Sure, I got you. Squeezing a couple photos for you. And we're still at 25. We're waiting for someone else to help out on the dono train. We're at 25, 75 to go. Show some love. Bills are expensive. Appreciate you. 17-6 Dolphins. We'll see if we can get anybody else to support. Appreciate you. Megan holding it down. Thank you so much. Megan with another 20. Appreciate your kindness and your generosity. We'll see if anyone else will do the same. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you so much. All the donos from just one individual so far. 45, 55 to go. Thank you for holding it down. We'll get you some more photos once we go to commercial break. Missed tackle by the Dolphins. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're only a couple likes away from 20. I was hoping to get to like 30 to 50. So if you are in the room now and haven't done it, please do. It'll help us hit the algorithm and maybe get us a few more people. We need a few more to be able to get to at least 20. So hopefully we can get that. And we're at 45, 55 to go to hit the goal. First down and 10. 5:24 left in the third quarter. Play action fake, Stafford, and he's got no time. neither quarterback has enough time to really go through their progressions here today. Wow, 0 for 7 on third down. I don't think I've seen that before. Second down and 10, shotgun set, Stafford, Cooper Kupp. I mean, even if you just got a dink and doink, with little 5-yard gains, with slants and outs to Kupp and Nakua, I mean, that's going to be better necessarily than just running a halfback dive for 1 yard with Kyren. You got to be able to open up the playbook, and I feel the Dolphins have opened up the playbook very nicely. Opening touchdown drive, they've only had 2 all year, but there was a lot of creativity. And I feel with the Rams today, Sean McVay, it's very vanilla. And normally this strategy might work when you're playing against a team that maybe the defense can't stop a nosebleed or they can't cover. But today, the Dolphins are covering, and they're obviously stopping the run, so you got to be able to adjust. You got to pivot. Cooper Kupp. There you go, my guy. First down, Ramley. Coop. Nice job. Way to bring that electricity to the fucking offense, finally. Get him the damn ball. Get this guy the damn ball as well. And then mix in a little bit of this later. Let's go. Yeah, Kupp is amazing. His work ethic is, top tier. Man in motion, Puka Nakua, shotgun set. Draw fake. Stafford going deep, got a man. Incomplete. Four more likes to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. There's been a lot of holding calls on both teams. I mean, I usually watch. Most people watch the quarterback, the running back, and the wide receivers and the tight ends. For me, I'm usually watching the O-line and the D-line first with my eyes, and then I'll let my eyes wander, to the playmakers and the skill position players. But I definitely like to see, who's trying to cheat a little bit more. And obviously, they're holding on every fucking play. Big tackle there by the Dolphins. But again, they can't call holding on every play to slow the game down. First down, Rams. It's like, they got to be able to be more creative here. Go to Demarcus Robinson for one play, and maybe Cooper Kupp. Then go to Kyren. Maybe make it like a bubble screen or something, and then go to Puka. You just can't go to the same like 1 or 2 guys over and over. Let's mix it up a little bit. A deep shot to Demarcus Robinson is almost, overdue. Either this quarter or next quarter. Kyren. And normally these runs that Kyren is getting 1 to 4 yards, he's normally getting 5 to 8. But the Dolphin defense has been pretty stifling today. Now, Puka hasn't punched anybody yet. And I assume that he won't punch anybody else for the rest of the year. But you also have to realize with Puka attempting to punch or punching, there's words going back and forth. It's not like Puka is the type of guy to just go out of his way to punch someone for no reason. So, lots of people talk, right? And when you end up having a rivalry, right, you're obviously getting baited to end up, something was said for that punch to come out. Puka. First down, Rams. Through the chains. And obviously, they're always going to catch the second guy, when they end up having guys throw punches or talking shit. It's always the last guy that gets caught. Now, and he's never been known as a dirty player. Of course, if he was, we'd be calling him out, right? Like, every single game and whatnot. But, he's like, honestly, probably one of the least likely guys that you would think that would do something stupid like that. But... emotions get high, right? You never know. People get pissed off and they do crazy things. Hand off. Nice gang tackle there by the Dolphins. I mean, we'll call it how we see it. Like I said, there's going to be certain guys that are kind of known for, being a dirty player, like Ndamukong too. Everyone knew that he was a dirty player in high school here in Oregon. Then when he ended up going to Nebraska, right? And then when he went to the NFL, stomping on chests and, being extra, trying to be a bully. Not everyone or Avante's perfect. He fucking gave CTE to AB, and AB hasn't fucking been the same. So, there's going to be certain guys that are more dirty than others, for sure. Short gain. Got to be more creative, Sean McVay. Lots of 2. Yeah, just wild that Puka and Kyron were 5th-round picks. McVay definitely knows how to get the most out of his guys in that system. 3rd down and 7. Puka, Cooper, Demarcus Robinson. You got options. Shotgun set for Stafford. I mean, he can't even line up under center because he'll just get sacked in like a half second. Stafford, look at that. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Stafford, even if he's in shotgun set 20 yards away, still gets sacked. And he had 3 guys in his grill. Offensive line for the Rams is dog shit today. But obviously, on the other side, you could say the same thing. Offensive line for the Dolphins, not good. Offensive line for the Rams, not good. Kyron Williams, what are you doing, bud? I mean, Kyron Williams trying to block a DN, not going to happen. Oh, my. Go Ducks. All in magic, baby. End of the 3rd quarter, 17-6, Dolphins. All right, so squeeze in a few more photos here for Megan. What else do you want besides Anson? I'm going to go Stefan now. Obviously, I was thinking it. Matt was thinking it. So let's go that route. And then anything else that you want. Kraken, Seahawks, USC. You let me know. I got you. Pete Carroll, even though we did a little bit of that earlier on. But it doesn't matter. We can do it again. All right, 45, 55 to go. Couple likes away from 20, so if you haven't hit that like button yet, please do. Takes 1 second to do. What do you think, Megan, about Macaulay Culkin being a part of Fallout 2? You like that? And what's Macaulay Culkin's role going to be in Fallout 2? Do you know yet? Have they actually said like what type of character he's going to be? Saw a post a couple days ago, like I know you did. And when is Fallout the next season going to be available? I would assume in 2025 or 2026. But you would know because you're a super fan of that series and the video game. That's why I'm asking. That's awesome. Bringing the Navy SEALs there. Happy Veterans Day. Ooh, Brian May, good choice. $53-yarder. We'll see if this is in his range or not. A little bit closer than that 57-yarder that he missed. 53-yarder. Kick is up. And it's got the distance. And good. 17-9. Dolphins. Do we have to look ahead? Nobody wants to watch the Cowboys. Golly. Even Snoop Dogg can't get anybody hyped for this game. I mean, you can get hyped to be able to watch the Texans, but I mean, unless you love enjoying watching the Cowboys lose, and which I imagine some people really love that. I mean, what are we going to get? Like a 40-3 game? I mean, there's an icon. Fallout is a pretty badass show if you haven't watched it yet. I would highly recommend it, even if you didn't play the video game. It's very, very entertaining. All right, time to go back to your guy. You went to him in the first quarter. Go back to him. You got Tyreek in the end zone. You got Waddle in the end zone. Maybe Achane's turn. I assume his parents, took a lot of the money, though. Seems like, deflected and almost picked off. It seems like a lot of the child stars, the parents, obviously dip into that money. It's pretty rare to have a child star actually have access to all of their funds, Flag on the play. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Wow. Automatic first down. Bobby Brown, no Whitney. He's like, I'm going to headbutt, and then you get the flop there, the little LeBron James floppage. But he did get hit, but, I don't think he really needed to fall down for them to pull the flag. But I guess you have to be over dramatic in the NFL, right? But also, they always get the second guy, like we said, right? What words were exchanged or what actions were done ahead of that, him getting pushed in the back, and then the ref seeing the headbutt after, Jonnu Smith runs into 5 Rams. 2-yard gain. It'll never be the Cowboys here. As long as Jerry Jones is owning that team, it'll be the same shit every single year. Like a big circle, anticipation and excitement, and getting people on ESPN and all these fucking podcasts that are idiots, thinking that the Cowboys are going to fucking go to the Super Bowl and win it. Then actually the dumb fans of the Cowboys think that they actually can because they listen to these dumb people. And then they find out that even if they do go to the playoffs, they usually get fucking mashed. And then the misery repeats over and over and over, Halfback toss. Short game. .14:05 left in the fourth. 17-9 Dolphins. I mean, this would be an ideal time to get a big play on defense, but we had a lot of interceptions early on and fumbles, but it's been a little bit tighter here in the second half. 3rd down and 3. Shotgun set. There he is. First down, Dolphins. Move the chains. Offensive line has got progressively worse for the Cowboys. Defense is non-existent. Like Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence, whether they're on the field or not, you never notice. Like they've really taken a step back. Now Dak is hurt, and CD a little banged up. Like not looking good. Almost picked. Wow. But again, if they're going to be dumb and overpay Dak, then they are going to get the misery that they deserve. You know, if you think a player is better than they are and you're willing to overpay, and you're going to end up paying the price. You know, they should have moved on from Dak years ago. But, you know, if they want to be stupid and be fucking miserable, then let them be stupid and miserable, you know. Shep in the building. What's good, brother? Yeah, I got you. Second down and 10. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. If you're just entering the room, please smash that like button. We're only a couple away from 20. So we want to make sure we at least get 20 to hit that algorithm. How are you, Shep? I got some icons on this next one. You might recognize them. Oh my. One of the greatest voices to ever grace planet Earth, ever. And then another guy who's a very legendary icon as well. Look at that hair. Second down and 10. Tua, see you later. 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Lots of fumbles. Lots of sack lunches. Lots of shitty play on the O-line for the Dolphins and the Rams. Lots of picks. This has been like the ultimate defensive compilation for a game here today. That's why we have a 17-9 kind of game instead of a 28-24 kind of game that maybe some of us were hoping for. Megan with a $5. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little cactus jack, bang, bang. We're at 50 to go. Tua scrambling for his life. Floater. He's open. Mostert. First down, Dolphins. But there is a flag on the play, and that's got to be a hold. But maybe not. They said it's in the secondary. Defensive holding. Instead of on the line, maybe on the secondary. Oh, my. 17-9 Dolphins. Even though the Falcons lost to the Saints, they're still going to win the division. Panthers are crappy, Bucks are crappy, Saints are crappy. They might have been able to get a win on the Falcons, but even with that being said, somebody's got to win the division in the crap division. So NFC South, NFC West hasn't been very good this year. Now, Koo normally doesn't miss those field goals. Captain with a 3-er. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for a photo. We're having a dono battle. See if anyone else wants to join the party. 2nd down and 8. Less than 11 minutes to go. Shotgun set, man in motion, handoff up the middle. End around, Tyreek or Waddle. Short game. Megan with a 2-er. Shotgun set, 3rd down and 9. Tua got a man, but Waddle ain't going to get there. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let's get to a hundo. We're at 55, 45 to go. $37-yarder for Sanders should be automatic. And it is. It's good. 20-9 Dolphins. And the most desperate team is getting that desperation result. And obviously, Cardinal fans, Niner fans, and Seahawks fans are happy with this Rams loss. Let's get Jonah Coleman here real quick for captain, and then anything else that you want to be able to tap into, Megan, let me know. Got a couple more Tom Blythe loading up, so. And we got Commandos, Eagles for Thursday night, and then we'll do Huskies and UCLA Friday, and then Oregon Ducks and the Wisconsin Badgers on Saturday, and then going back into the schedule. And then really what the question mark is what do we do tomorrow and Wednesday? Normally it would be like, Mariners, but obviously it's not baseball season. I miss baseball season for that single, fact, that when you have those days that are in between the week where you need like filler streams, that's what made baseball so great because it's on almost every fucking day. But with football, it's like Sunday, Monday, and then you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then on Tuesday and Wednesday, there's no football. So. Appreciate you, Captain. Looking forward to the Huskies beating up the Bruins. Megan holding it down. Appreciate you. Paisley's right next to me. She says, I love you. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. 9 minutes to go in the fourth, 20-9, Dolphins. Cardinals, Niners, Rams, and Hawks. Wow. They only give the Hawks 4% chance. Everyone's record is almost identical, but everyone's like floating around 500. That's a little wild. Wow, the disrespect's so real. Golly. Hawks 4%? Like last out of the 4 teams? Really? Wow. They be hating on Seattle. Ooh. But, I mean, what's new? I mean, we're always used to getting hated on in Oregon and Washington. They never want to give credit. Golly. Got to prove the doubters and the haters wrong if you live in Oregon and Washington every single day. Golly. Stafford. Davis Allen with another grab. That would be hilarious if that ends up happening. Like, oh, remember when you guys said that we only had a 4% chance? I mean, it's one thing if like you have a couple teams that are sitting at like 8-2 or 7-3, and then the Hawks are like 1-9. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's a few teams that are much better, and then we only have a couple wins and we have a bunch of losses. Then you put 4%, but not when everyone is like 4-5, 5-5. Like, how are you going to say Seattle's got a 4% chance when everyone's literally got almost an identical record in the whole division? Unbelievable. Candace in the building. What's good? I got to get Paisley some food. Give me 1 sec. All right, got Paisley some food. Gave her some blueberries and some strawberries. All right. Desperation will make teams do desperate things. Definitely not a good game for the Rams here today, but it shows you, like, you can have all the skill possession players in the world, but if your offensive line isn't good, you're not going to be able to have time to be able to get the ball to those good wide receivers and tight ends, let alone your running back is going to struggle. And normally we see, Kyron and Achane just go off for 100 yards and a couple touchdowns almost every fucking week. But this week, the defensive lines have definitely won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and offensive lines have gotten tore the fuck up. And this has been kind of a weird, football matchup. I don't know if we've ever, seen this many skill position players get overshadowed by the D lines on both teams. Getting all these sack lunches, interceptions, and fumbles. But again, defense wins games. Defense wins championships. They're never going to get the credit like the skill position players, but that's where we're at. Knee to knee. Oh, that makes my knee hurt. Like having jumper's knee, when you were younger. Oh, man. 2nd down and 5, man in motion, Cooper Kupp. And they definitely haven't got the ball to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua enough, but they haven't had time. Stafford, there you go, Puka. First down, Rams. There he is. First down, Ramley. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20. Another catch. There we go, Cooper. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We only need 2 more. There's a few of y'all that just came in a little late here. Hopefully you guys have done that for us. Help us get to that number. Stafford, back in the end zone, incomplete. Second and goal. Got to get a touchdown here if you have any chance of winning this game. Second and goal. Man in motion. Stafford. Johnson is there. There's your little play sheet there. Got to use a darker pen. It's not dark enough, I think, bro. But we get the gist with the duo. Two more. Let's get there, baby. 20-9. Now the Rams are turning into the desperate team that needs to score with limited time. Stafford. Floater. Incomplete. Field goal unit coming out. Oh, my. Oh. Lay down. Lay down over here. Down over there. Love you. Lay down. Field goal is good. 20-12, Dolphins. All right, Miami, your turn. Got to squeeze in a little Dougie B, too. Doug Baldwin, very underrated. There he is. Oh, they got 6:31 left. So I think going for the field goal, you had to go for the field goal at some point, either now or later. So might as well just get it out of the way. And they haven't really been that good offensively. So take what you can get, right? Yes. Yeah, I got one loading up right now. 20-12 Dolphins. Walter Jones. I mean, I can go up and down the whole list. This is a unique one that I've never seen before. First down and 10, 20-12 Dolphins. Oh my, let's go. Look at that patch. Yes, please. Jalen Wright with the short game. We're at 60, 40 to go. Paisley wasn't here. I think she's hungry now. Second down and 5. Less than 6 minutes to go. Dolphins up by 8. 2-6 Dolphins, 4-4 Rams. And based on, if you watched this game, you would have feel that maybe the Dolphins were 4-4, maybe the Rams were 2-6, but there still is time. But the Dolphins are going to try to bleed out some of this clock. But if you're just trying to hang on to the win and not win the game, the Rams can definitely come back and tie this and make it go to OT, and they could win it. So, you got to be able to win the game, not try to just desperately hang on to the lead. And that's a big mistake that a lot of high school, college, and NFL teams do. I mean, no matter how good it's gone up to this point, we know that both of these teams could score in a matter of just a play or two. Third down and 6. Trips left. Shotgun set. Tua. Decent protection. Floater. Got a man. First down. Dolphins. That was huge. Odell Beckham Jr. Who? He's still playing? Him just, getting a paycheck. Nice job, Odell. I mean, he turned around in multiple 360s, but, you're not going to be able to make a lot of plays, but in that instance, that was the right place at the right time. Nice catch by Odell. Doesn't even look like Odell Beckham. Normally when you, look through the helmet, you can tell it's Odell. But this is, the first time, if you didn't know that was Odell, you never would know. Washington with the grab. First down, Dolphins. And this is the worst possible time for the Rams defense to fold. If you're trying to be able to get back into this game, you got to keep that same intensity that you had, throughout the first 3 quarters. I mean, in all honesty, Odell probably could have retired, based off his age and his injuries. But hell, if a team wants to pay him and he can get a few $1 million and, live that lifestyle a little bit longer, why not, right? First down and 10. Tyreek in motion. Shotgun set. Achan. Remember when we all used to call him A-Chain before they corrected us after the second game? I mean, anytime that someone comes out of nowhere and they got kind of an unusual name, I mean, we're just going to go based off what the initial announcer say, And then he had to correct everyone. He's like, you guys are saying my name wrong. A-Chan. Jackie Chan. Second down and 5. Tua under center, hands off again, trying to bleed this clock. And running in right to a Ram. Short gain, third down. No, it kind of feels like the Rams dug themselves too much of a hole. I mean, especially if they can keep continuing to move the chains here. I agree. I do like the aqua as well. Steele, you got no idea, bro. I mean, I go on an hour and a half, 3 walks for about an hour and a half total, 7 days a week with my pup, and it's just the best, man. And the neighborhood and community I live in doesn't have a whole lot of kids, really. So when we go walk, especially when we walk at night, usually it's just me and her, and there's nobody out. It's just me and her. And even in the mornings, sometimes there'll be other people out there with their dogs and whatnot. But I think that's like the best walk for me, when it's just me and her, complete darkness, and we can just go as far as we want. We don't have to get worried about anybody with dogs off leash or idiot people or dumbass kids being disrespectful and whatever. Like, it's just a nice, peaceful, good for the mental health walk for me and my pup. 50-yard attempt. Oh my. Appalachia. 4th down and 3. 50-yarder. Lots of 50-yarder attempts today on both sides. Kick is up, and it is good. And that might have been the nail in the coffin. The Undertaker is not rising out of the casket. That one might have been it right there. And I got this forest area like a minute from my house. So when me and Paisley walk up the hill from our house, it's not a park, but it's a designated area that the state recognizes. And there's paths that you can walk in there. And I used to ride my bike in there and do jumps and whatnot. So you go real fast and you hit the jump and whatnot. And some of those have been kind of smoothed out and whatnot. But it's a decent sized area where I know she likes to be able to sniff around and walk around and whatnot. So. $2:38 to go. So I guess tomorrow and Wednesday, the option for the stream, since we don't have the Mariners, we can do NHL, we can do NBA, and we can do freestyle streams, or we can end up doing, a little bit of both. Kind of just depends on some of you guys that are in the room that are regulars and what we decide to do. I have been kind of itching to get back to doing freestyle streams where, we don't have to go for as long as a football game or a baseball game where we're doing a 3-hour stream or something. But if we did a freestyle stream with photos, one day a week, where we, pick a theme like food or, musicians or rappers or cars or wrestlers or whatever, or iconic legends, from any sport. I think that would be kind of a cool thing to do, where I could dig up some HD 4K photos of some of our favorite things, and, whatever individual donates, then we can kind of pivot and shift to whatever topic that they want to do and kind of go down that gravy train. But and speaking of gravy, obviously Thanksgiving coming up, Thanksgiving food photos, things like that. So, you guys let me know what you guys are thinking, but, we might end up doing, the Kraken or the Blazers tomorrow, possibly, but probably leaning more towards the Kraken if we were to do that, even though it is a late game. It's at 7, though. And that's the only problem with games that are on late like that, is if it's on at 7, Blazers or the Kraken, then that means in the Midwest it's 9, and East Coast it's 10. So it's kind of hard to be able to get people to come through, if it's going to be at that particular time. But I don't know. Well, I guess we have to kind of wait and see. Because if I was going to do like a freestyle stream with the photos, I would want to do it a little bit earlier. I would want to do it at like around like 5 o'clock my time. So that way it would be like 7 in the Midwest, 8 on the East Coast. So that way it'd be a little bit easier. And then we would just stream for like an hour or two and then call it even, you know. Flag on the play. Well, tomorrow's Tuesday, so we'll figure out if I decide to do Kraken or Blazers. Probably leaning a little bit more towards the Kraken than the Blazers, and then Wednesday I don't really have anything on tap for that particular day. So 3rd down and 10. Rams running out of time. Shotgun set. Stafford check down. Davis Allen 1st down. Rams. Who the chains? 2-minute warning. Or even just doing throwback photos, you know, of old school football legends and icons. That could always be interesting. And you can dig up gems that maybe I've never seen before, like this one, or even ones like this. I love the patch on that jersey. It's kind of cool to be able to see the transition of the jerseys and the manufacturers. Like, look at this one. They're fucking represented by Puma on there. It takes a good memory to remember what year this was, going back with the Puma logo on the pants and on the jersey. Very cool. I imagine there's not a lot of people that got Puma jerseys in their closets nowadays. Very cool. Yeah, I'll watch that as well. Yeah, we'll figure out what we can, do. I mean, I always can take a day off, but I don't really want to take off more than 1 day a week, But again, I don't want to, spend an hour making a thumb and trying to set up to do a stream and we have like 2 people. That's not really ideal either. I got to be able to, try to, navigate the best way that I can by trial and error on what would be the best fit for each day. So, tipped pass there by the Dolphins, incomplete. You got a logo athletic Brett Favre, nice. You mean Russell Athletic? Is that what you mean? I have a Russell Athletic that King Griffey Jr., my most expensive jersey I own is a Russell Athletic. Like authentic Russell Athletic, kind of like a Mitchell and Ness. 1st down and 10. Stafford. Towards the sideline. Demarcus Robinson. 1st down, Rams. Who the chains? Shotgun set. Stafford, plenty of time that particular play, but of course he throws it incomplete into the turf. 2nd down and 10. See if Stafford can get locked in. Nice catch. Tyler Johnson, former Buck. 9-yard gain. Yeah, this Buccaneer vest I have is Reebok, back from 2005. It's like you buy something and you keep it in good, shape in your closet. You can keep a lot of stuff for a long, long time. And this is over 20 years old, has no rips in it. But I usually baby a lot of my stuff. So, shotgun set, 1st down and 10. I love sideline gear. Incomplete. Demarcus Robinson complaining about a flag there. What do they think they are, the Oregon Ducks? I got a couple, but obviously Derek Brooks, that's going to be my, I'm a linebacker guy and I'm a defensive oriented fan, which is a little bit different than most. So, Derek Brooks, obviously, and there's a lot. Simeon Rice, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, incomplete. But I would probably say Derek Brooks on defense and probably, Rondé's up there for me as well. But I would probably go Derek Brooks on defense, Mike Allstott on offense. I'd probably say from the old school era. My favorite offensive player, Mike Allstott, back in the day. Now probably Mike Evans, and then obviously defensively Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber. Because obviously with Sapp and Lynch, they ended up leaving. So field goal is up and good. 23-15 Dolphins. Onside kick incoming. But I still got my sewn Derek Brooks jersey from 2000. So it's still in good shape. It's got a little bit of wear and tear, but not too much. And I still typically wear it pretty regularly here on the channel. So, all right, Stafford kind of got locked in there, but they're still down by 8 now, kind of running out of time. Little, too late. Yeah, that would be awesome if you could find it. Do they make it? Unless someone, ended up, buying a Zorn back in the day and it's sitting in someone's closet. I'm not really sure what options were available for jerseys back in the 80s in Seattle. I imagine Largent was probably the main one that they focused on, but, I imagine Team Store and other stuff, they had others that you could buy, but you would have to be in Seattle to get the best selection because even Oregon didn't have a very good Seahawks selection back in the 80s and 90s. Onside kick. And Dolphins recover. Any other photos that you want to be able to see for the people that donated? Megan, anything else that you want to be able to see before we go here in 5 to 10 minutes? Let me know. We're at 60-40 to go. Did we hit 20 likes yet? That's something that we should be able to do within the first hour, but I guess every stream it's, give or take, but looks like we're still a couple away. We need one more. There's got to be somebody in the room that hasn't done it yet or that has a second account or something. Final score, Dolphins 23, Rams 15. A disappointment for the Rams and a big victory for Miami. Like even these jerseys, I don't remember these ones. Like this particular look, like on the shoulder pads and whatnot. So it kind of shows you the evolution of the Seahawks jerseys, but I don't remember these ones. But that's why it's always kind of cool to be able to bring up old school photos to give you memories or to spark a memory. But these ones I don't remember at all. These ones I remember, right, with this color scheme and whatnot. But these ones, not so much, but pretty cool to be able to see the evolution of the jerseys. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, I mean, I know what time period it's from, but I'm just saying I don't remember ever like watching a game with them wearing these. And I usually have a pretty good memory, based off each year. But this is, rare air for me. Like I don't remember these jerseys. And usually I got a pretty good fucking memory. Like I definitely remember these, and these ones with the Puma. But this is like kind of an anomaly. Like where did these come from? I don't even know what year this is from exactly. Like I know what time period roughly, but I don't know the exact year. But still pretty cool. You can always be surprised every day with something. At least we don't wear these jerseys anymore. Only had them for about a year. DK running away from my Bucks. Reflect in the building. What's good? Reflect. Look at these photos, man. So I brought up some of these like old school Seahawks photos, and I got a pretty good memory, with them. So you got these ones right here with the Puma, right? And obviously going through all the different brands that have had the NFL contract, right? And then you've noticed, the Cortez Kennedy in that look. Right? You got the little 25th anniversary patch. But look at these ones. Do you remember these ones? Reflect. This one is like with the shoulder pad, little graphic there on the side. These are like the most unusual Seahawks jerseys ever. Like, I don't know if they only wore this for a year or if they wore it for 2 years or 4 years, but for whatever reason, I don't remember these. And that's a rare thing for me. I'm usually on top of it. I mean, we've gone through many different, types of styles, of the jerseys and the helmets and the evolution of where they've come, but I remember this. I remember that. I do not remember these. This is unusual, but maybe you do. Luck with a tenner. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. $10 holla. Let me know what you want to do for photos. We're going to stay on here for another, I don't know, probably, where are we at right now? 8:10. We could probably stay on for another, 10 or 15 minutes, dropping some photos down and whatnot. And then I got to go eat dinner and take Paisley on a long walk. We got fucking soaked yesterday. Even though we went on a short walk, man, we got really, really soaked. And I know the rain has been coming down, so I got to check the weather here in my area. So that way I can kind of time a nice 20 to 25 minute window. That way we don't. So we're at 70, 30 to go. I don't, like I said, I'm usually really, really good with names and players. But I don't remember that jersey at all. Not even a little bit. With that stuff on the side, on the shoulders and whatnot. They definitely have come a long ways, the jerseys. I gotta delete some of these photos. Anything specific that you want to be able to see reflect? Did you get a chance to get out and get a walk, or has it been pretty rainy up there in Washington as well? Oh, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. $5 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. And the Seahawks in the building. Thank you so much. Appreciate the two of you. If it wasn't for you, we'd be at 0, as well as Captain Oreo. So all 3 of the Seahawks coming in big for the NWSF, and I appreciate it. And hopefully we can get some other people to join the party as well. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Reflect. Thank you, Captain Oreo. Appreciate the 3 of you. Very, very much. Some Gino? All right, I got you. Yeah. Lots of leaves, lots of leaves. Clogging up the drains and whatnot. Sometimes when I'm walking with Paisley, I'll kind of clean out a drain a little bit, to kind of get that water flow. I don't know. It's like you get to a certain age, when you're grown, and you start, like doing things that maybe your dad or your mom did, or grandma or grandpa did, and whatnot. But just making sure everything is, kind of in order around the house, and and it kind of like bothers me too, like when I see other people, that have dogs, and if they're like, dog, takes a shit and they just leave it there, or they have a bag and there's like a garbage like nearby, but then they just tie the bag in a knot and they just leave it there. Like, pick up after yourself. At least you didn't leave the shit there for me to step in, or for Paisley. But it's like, it doesn't take that much effort to throw, poop away. But I guess for some people, it's a harder fucking job to do than others, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's get some photos up. But good thing for the most part, Paisley is a trooper, and if it's like pouring down rain, she'll give me a look. And a lot of times we have to still get our exercise in. So at some point, I'm going to have to get her a coat, and usually those are pretty expensive if you really want to talk about it. It's like, you think a dog coat would only be like, $20-$30, but they're a lot more expensive than that. It's like almost getting a coat for a small child. Like, most of the dog coats are like $50 to $120. So. Want to make sure my baby doesn't get too wet. ESPN used to be good when they had Stuart Scott and they were the only ones that showed highlights, and they had a great cast. But since then, I mean, it's unwatchable. It's like they're doing things that were popular 20 years ago. It's like, sometimes you got to evolve, with the times. And I feel with a lot of the networks, they're stuck in the past. Nobody wants to see a bunch of, former players yelling and screaming at each other over if the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl or not. Like, nobody cares. Like, you might have been able to get some views back in the day, but, a lot of those people, they're not watching anymore. That type of audience is gone. So, but apparently, like Fox Sports and CBS and ESPN are so behind the times that they either refuse to change, or they're just fucking stupid, or a little bit of both. Stubborn in their own ways, I mean, ratings will tell you if people are watching or not. Offensive line is pretty bad. I mean, if we're looking at it, like if we deep dive, reflect, and we deep dive into the stats. And again, offensive line, Gino is actually doing pretty fucking good considering he's got like a half a second to fucking throw almost every single time. And again, all the criticism is going to go towards him, not the offensive line. And again, no football. Obviously, if the offensive line isn't doing a good job, then the quarterback's not going to have enough time, and the running back's not going to be able to hit the hole, and quarterback's not going to be able to get the ball to the proper weapons and whatnot. So, offensive line and defense still need to be drastically improved, but at least right now, everyone is kind of mediocre in the NFC West. They showed a graphic reflect earlier that the Seahawks have a 4% chance of making the playoffs. Everybody is like average or bad right now in the NFC West, just like in the NFC South besides the Falcons. Both of our divisions are dog shit. But for everyone to be like right next to each other record-wise, 5-5, 4-5 roughly, right? How do the Seahawks have a 4% chance and last out of the four teams? Like, where did they get that number from? But I guess that's what they think. And if you're a fan of an Oregon or a Washington team, I guess we have to be able to prove the doubters wrong every single year. So. I mean, I get it. Like I said earlier, like, okay, if the Niners were like 8-1, the Rams were like 7-2, and then the Hawks were like 1-8. Okay, then you could say, yes, 4% chance, that's accurate. I've never seen a graphic come up like that had so much disrespect. Like, everyone has got like an identical record, and then for whatever reason, Seattle has 4%. Wild. I mean, it just never ends if you're an Oregon or Washington fan, and based off our teams. It's hilarious. I'll throw up another stud. You might have heard of him. Hello. Yeah, unfortunately, I think only vintage Seahawk fans remember an old school player like that. I mean, obviously, some people are still going to remember like Dave Craig and whatnot. But I mean, if you're going way, way, way back to like the beginning of the inception of the Seahawks in '76, and then obviously going into the early '80s, only the true diehards are going to really remember all of those guys if you were alive at that point and were watching at a very frantic pace. But there's definitely a lot of diehard Hawk fans that still are not familiar with a lot of those players within the first 6 years on the team. Let's see if I can find some old school throwbacks. Ooh, look at that one. would assume the average Seahawk fan doesn't even know who that is, unless you dig up your history or look it up on Google. And I would assume that Sam Adkins was a righty, not a lefty. Or was he a lefty also like Zorn? That was before my time, before I was born. Man, I hope so. That would be great. No, he don't, does he? I'm actually kind of surprised there were so many I was able to find. I know Megan doesn't like Dave Craig, but I remember him on those Oro wheat cards that, you had like the Franz bread that had the Blazer cards, and then they had the Oro wheat bread, the wheat bread, and then you could get Seahawk cards in it. And I remember going through and getting Dave Craig and a few of the other guys like Dave Craig, Kurt Warner, and a few others. Yeah. He almost could pass off for more of like a punter than a quarterback, just based off his, look. But Kurt Warner with a C, not a K. You know that.